Wallace State Community College is hosting an exhibit of photos called Changing Moods, 50 Years in Black and White, featuring large format black and white photos from photographer John Dersham.
It was a year in the workings, and we're real fortunate to have John Dersham. John, as far as I'm concerned, is rated one of the best large format photographers in the nation.
I have been perpetuating the craft of large format fine art black and white photography for 53 years now. And the show behind us is Changing Moods, 50 Years in Black and White, which is a representative number of darkroom made prints from film, 4x5 and 8x10 film, that are on display here at the Evelyn Burroughs Museum at Wallace State.
John is one of the best large format photographers in the United States today. He's one of the best photographers in the state of Alabama. If you miss this exhibition, you're going to really miss a great show.
It's been a passion. I worked for Kodak for 30 years, and in many travels, they moved me 4 different times. And during those years, we had nationwide meetings, of which I would take that time to take a vacation, either on the front or the back of the paid trip to get me out there, rent a car, and perpetuate this craft all around the country. But I also have spent much of these years getting up early on weekend mornings, pre-daylight, and going out and shooting in the fog and the rain and the sunrise. And hopefully that's given my work a little bit of a distinctive look on its own.
We have 60 prints up, and they're a wide variety of prints. A lot of times when I have a photographer up, everybody asks me which one my favorite is. Actually, every one of these are my favorite, because I haven't found a bad one yet. And anybody that goes through it will tell you that. They can't find a bad one, and that's unusual.
This is a 4x5 Vista film camera. 4x5 is a film size that shoots at what would be equivalent in digital of 400 megapixel. A mainstream digital DSLR is about 15 to 30 megapixel. This is 400. There is no digital equivalent to shooting on film that is this size. It holds 2 sheets of film at a time via a film holder, which slides in back here, and you flip it. You take one side, you pull out the sheet. This is an 8x10 negative. So this is the beginning size of the picture. From here you enlarge it to be whatever size you want, or you can make a contact print. Everything is crystal clear. You can make every item in the scene razor sharp. And then I keep these negatives in an archival sleeve that I buy from a museum supplier. These are 100% acid free. The neat thing about these, I can write all my data on the negative sleeve. The time I shot it, where I was, who was in it, what my exposure was, what film I used, what lens and camera combination, what processing and printing information I used. So it makes a great archival storage system. But there's nothing like working and handling an 8x10 negative, or in fact a 4x5 negative. Anything that's an individual sheet like this gives you an awful lot of individual autonomy to work the system you want.
When you look at one of his photographs, they absolutely, you can see everything in them. When you do a digital photograph, you see the main focus is on the main item, but with John's, it's the entire photograph. You can see everything in it.
The image quality that this will produce, especially when you hand print these images in the darkroom, they have a tonality, a contrast, a resolution, unlike anything in digital. And digital is fantastic, and it's mainstream and will continue being that way. But there's a place for both digital and film to coexist. So if you're somebody like me who likes the fine art piece of it, and it's a more of a craft, hands-on type environment, then this kind of a camera is very popular among my type of shooter.
And when we return, we will discover more about the man behind the photos.